It's bad. Anime.
Hey everybody, this is John Weigel.
And this is Rob Halley.
And this is Bad Anime, the podcast where we decide, is this anime bad? So what anime are we watching today, Rob?
Okay, this is an odd one. I was rummaging through my DVD collection and I rediscovered a little title by the name of Angel's Sanctuary.
Ooh.
Yes.
It sounds, pleasant.
For what I remember, some moments were pleasant. I'm trying to remember who. This one I don't have a lot of detail. I don't remember a lot of details. I remember the manga. It was by Kaori Yuki. It's a. Let's just say it's a healthy It's a healthy dose of what I call like late '90s, early 2000s shoujo smut.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to explain all of that to me right now.
Okay, you got it. So,
Please.
yeah. How do I put this?
Wait, you said shoujo smut.
Yes.
So, okay. All right.
So
none of those words mean anything to me.
It's fine. I'll break it down for you.
Please, thank you. I would be very appreciative.
I'll break it down real quick for you, and I'll give you like a hint of the themes in this particular OVA.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very weird period in like I said, late '90s, early 2000s in shoujo manga, which is the equivalent of shoujo of shonen, but shoujo is for females.
Oh,
so this stuff is marketed towards teenage girls.
Oh, okay. Wait. So shonen
Is for boys.
is for boys, and shoujo is for girls.
Yes.
Well, I never actually knew that. Wait, so Shonen
You're
Jump.
on an anime podcast.
Wait,
and you did it.
Wait, so Shonen Jump is like boy jump?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, it's like basically teenage jump.
That's kind of crazy.
Oh my god, I did not know what I was getting into.
Wow, dude, I didn't even know that.
Oh my god, we're learning so much, everybody. Please stick with us.
We're just so different in our knowledge base.
Oh god, this is gonna be a thrill ride. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Dragon Ball, but I know what shoujo is. So what does it say about me? I don't know. As an anime fan, I feel like people are either gonna want to hug me or shoot me. But anyway, and to get into the themes of this particular OVA, there was a weird trend in the, like I said, late '90s, early 2000s, where several manga came out. I can name a few offhand. Where the plot was like, my older brother wants to fuck me, and I'm okay with it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
there was a lot of
so there was just a long line of just wait. So this was like an era of incest, kind of in manga and in anime.
For some reason, there was a trend in like manga directed at teenage girls where it'd be the hot older brother in love with their younger sister, and the sister would be totally overwhelmed or totally thrilled about it, depending on the manga itself.
Wow, you know what the weird part about that is?
Go ahead.
I kind of get it. I kind of get how that'd be appealing, I guess,
I mean, I feel like it's just a very extreme star-crossed lovers forbidden love tale. It's just it's that taken to the nth degree.
It's that, but it's like, oh, it's your brother, so it's like inherently like not a good thing for you to be boning, but like you might bone.
Yeah.
And,
so what would happen?
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, exactly. There was several different scenarios where like a girl would meet a guy, but then later learn it was a long lost brother.
Oh no.
A girl would meet her long lost brother and be like, "Wait, I don't remember this dude at all, and now he's just some hot dude. I'm confused."
But in this one, not to spoil anything, but in this one, in Angel Sanctuary, does she know that it's her brother from the beginning?
From what I remember, yes. This is actually gonna be very fun for me because I've only watched this once, probably in 2011. So
okay,
I'm looking back at a decade.
About 10 years ago.
Probably
all right.
10 years. Because this was during the great FYE purge where all the FYEs were going out of business and all the DVDs were like $5.
Yeah.
So the Angel Sanctuary, among many, was what I grabbed, and we're watching right now. It's called the Enhanced Edition. No shit. I was gonna tell you what production company it was from, but then I dropped it. So, but the box art is beautiful. So
it is really pretty. It is a really pretty box art.
So I thought, okay, I'm gonna pick it up, and I did.
And I went to FYE in those days when it was going out of business. I just bought a lot of random WWE pay-per-views. I got like SummerSlam 2009 for like $1.
Nice.
It was great.
And then the network happened, and it's like, okay.
And it's like, I guess I don't need any of this anymore.
Exactly. But yeah, so today we're gonna take a little bit of a romantic kind of supernatural journey through Angel Sanctuary. It's only three episode OVA, 90 minutes total. It's a nice little feature film length.
All right.
So
as per usual, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it. So stay tuned.
Let's have some fun.
It's bad.
Okay, everybody. So in kind of an audible, we decided there are 3 episodes to this OVA,
right?
And we just watched the first one, and And we decided
we're just gonna go from here.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk about the first episode
we just
today.
had too much to address.
There was this might be my favorite experience watching an anime with you, Bouncy, because people listening, we try not to say too much while we're talking because we want to save it for you guys and save it for audio. So the entire time we're just staring at the screen, our face is changing every couple of minutes because a new emotion has taken place. So I'm surprised how little of this I remembered, and there was there was a lot here, and wow. Where to begin? We meet our main character Setsuno right away, and it's no time before we learn he's in love with his younger sister.
It is almost the first thing that he says.
Yes.
It is legitimately the first sentence that he says to himself in his own mind. He's like, wow, I really do want to bone my sister.
Yes.
And I just knocked over the mic.
Is everything? Are we still? Oh, go.
We're going.
Perfect.
And I think at that point he was just walking down the street and he was just like, if only my sister knew how much I love her in that way. And I was like, wow, he's already admitting it to himself, and we are 2 minutes into this show.
and of course there's a lot of religious imagery going on. Then there's a few angels running around. There's this one in the very beginning we see an image of who we learn is Alexiel. She's an angel of something, and she's just a long, beautiful, brown, luscious hair and big Bahama Monka donkers. So, love that.
You know what I really equated this first episode to?
What?
It's like watching the Mortal Kombat movie without playing Mortal Kombat.
Well, yes.
I had no idea anything that anybody was saying. And let's point out that the first scene was not the main character. The first scene was approximately 1.5 to 2 minute monologue about a lot of random lore that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
And when every character introduced themselves, you had them say, hi, I'm this person. I'm from the Netherrealm region number 13, protecting this person. And I'm like, this means nothing to me.
Yes,
None of this means anything.
We don't know what's going on.
I have no idea what any of this is.
We would get flashbacks. And by the way, I'm just going to come out and say it. This does not look good.
It's not good.
It does not look good. This animation is just, it's very of its time, but you can tell it's cheap. It reminds me a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. It's funny enough, because we watched the dub, which is bad. Which
it's so horrendous.
I hate to be that guy and say, hate to rip on dubs, but this one was bad because the lip flaps didn't match at all. It was very distracting. And why I bring up Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters is because the American voice of Joey Wheeler was very prevalent. I forget the actor's name. Oh, yes.
But he voiced the character known as Kira in the first episode, who's a friend of the main character. Setsuna Muda.
Yeah, Setsuna. And this friend already picked up on the facts, like, you want to bone your sister. So it was very funny.
And the best part is Setsuna, the main character, is like, yeah, you're right.
I know it's bad, huh? And that was essentially the tone.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. So and then we learned there's, like I said, there's an angel, and it was Wayne Grayson was the voice.
Wayne Grayson
is the guy who voiced Kira in this, and Joey Wheeler in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Love him.
It was nice to see.
It was nice. It was nice to hear your voice again, sir. In a DVD you took part in 20 years ago. So if I hope you're still doing well. And anyway, there was an angel running around. Not Alexiel, it was her brother, the one with the purple hair.
Yes, I can't even recall what his name was.
All the names were super long and a lot of L's.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, I'm just like, holy shit, look at all those consonants.
Yep.
So in this show, Sarah runs around. At first, they seem to have a kind of a cute dynamic.
Well, Sarah's his sister, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I should have clarified, my bad.
No worries.
So no worries. So at first, it seems like the dynamic between Setsuna and Kira is like that of like siblings who got, they mentioned the parents were divorced, they got separated. We learned why the parents got divorced later. But they met, yeah. So at first, okay, it seems like typical like, high school students. It seems like high school siblings. At first you think it's going to be kind of like a fun dynamic. No, they're charging right in. Maybe in the manga they took their time to show us the development, but they really went head on in. Like I said, this is meant for teenage girls.
Right.
There was a big thing at the time. I know we recorded the intro a while ago, so I honestly forgot what I said in that beginning of this episode, guys. I apologize. But yeah, she gets kidnapped at one point. There's a lot of blood. It's significantly gorier than I remember.
It's way bloodier than I would have anticipated. Because like at one point, right, Setsuna First, like, sees her sister, because, like, the first plot point is, like, they go out to, like, hang out once a month.
Yeah.
Because their parents got divorced and they said they would see each other continuously, right? And his friend Kira happens to be there. And then what happens at this point is his sister gets kidnapped that night.
Yeah.
And
By some thugs that Kira was fighting earlier. Sorry, not Kira. Setsuna was fighting earlier on.
Right. And he finds that out because somebody throws a briefcase in through his window.
It's her bag.
It's her bag with a stuffed animal on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they must have taken her. I know exactly where she is. Probably.
And he finds him.
And he finds them really quickly. And then he gets in a fight with them. But then these three dudes or so, they turn into these, like, weird, like... They're, like, mechanical in terms of, like, they got, like, tentacles, but they kind of look like a couple summoned skulls.
Yes.
Like that, but they're...
We have a lot of comparisons to Yu-Gi-Oh!
A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff going on.
I mean, the art style is very much in the same vein. It's very of the early 2000s. So it's nostalgic in a way.
Right.
But, yeah, so in a scene out of Devilman, these, like, thugs transform into, like, these... I guess they're supposed to be angelic monsters, because... angels are bad guys, I think. I don't know what they're trying to do here.
We don't really know much about, like, the lore behind this, but they've been saying a lot of things this first episode.
Well, yeah, it's not for lack of trying. The show dumped a lot of information on us.
So much
information. Every scene that wasn't Setsuna wondering about his sister, someone was dumping exposition.
Yes, there's a hell of a lot of exposition, and there are also these two other characters who I cannot remember the names of, but they were following Setsuna. It was probably a black seal.
Some
kind of exactly.
Yes,
and they were following Setsuna around, and there's, like, they're both from different, like, places, probably, like, whatever, and they are looking for Alexiel, who is the angel that they believe that Setsuna is the reincarnation of. Yes. So
I'm looking to you for this one.
That's why they're following him around.
Yes, and there's another angel who's actually the brother of what was the name of the angel again? Like that Setsuna is supposed to be
Alexiel?
Alexiel, yes.
Yeah.
Apparently Alexiel's brother is following Setsuna because, of course, the brother also has an incestuous thing for his sister, the angel. So he wants to be with her again. So he's trying to kill Setsuna, or he's trying to resurrect his sister.
Just layers of incest.
Layers of incest here.
A lot of layers of incest.
A lot going on.
Like a layer cake of brother-sister loving.
Yeah, it's a fat cake, too.
It's a fat cake. It is a big 2003 cake.
Yeah, but the end of the... So we go on, Setsuna rescues Sarah. There's this scene, this scene could have worked what they did next. Because it could have worked. Bear with me. So Sarah's unconscious. He's looking over her. He puts her in bed. He does something a little maybe unagreeable. He just goes right in for a smooch, right in for a peck, and their mother sees him doing this, freaks out, goes about how that's part of the reason their parents divorced. Like she divorced his dad because she wanted to separate Setsuna and Sarah. It's like, oh my god. I knew you're a creep and a monster. You can't do this.
Oh, my God.
And there's a great line from Setsuna where it's like, because Sarah wakes up and says, "It's okay, Mom, I know." And then Setsuna goes, "Oh, no, my secret that nobody must know."
In the meantime,
every character
knows. They all know.
They all know that he has these feelings
for his sister.
And he's completely unaware of this.
Yeah. Like Kira, his friend, was like, yeah, what was the line that he said? He was like,
that line was great. It's like, yeah, I know you have a tendency for troubled romances. I forget what the exact
this is his sister.
This is his sister. There's even a scene where he's making sure they're biological sisters. Because he's like, there's some hope. It's like, no, there's not.
No, friend. She is your biological sister. So, yeah, I guess that's, like, the shocking part of this whole... And then, like, after that...
The rest of the scene was... So, the mother kicks him out of the house. And, they start arguing. Sarah and the mother start arguing. In the meantime, Setsuna's outside saying... Because the mother is going on a rant about how Setsuna just wants to use you. He's just an animal. He doesn't really love you. Setsuna's on the outside. He's like, this is my chance. Because the whole thing is he wants to stop himself from, in his mind, corrupting his sister. So he goes on this rant like... She's absolutely right, and while he's outside, and so Sarah can't see him because he's outside, but she can hear him. He goes on. I just wanted to use. I just messed up. I wanted to use you. Why would I ever love you? And she starts dragging her down, and then he charges out. Of course, it's pouring rain outside, so he charges into the rain, starts going in his head. It's like I I can never see her again. But there's no man in the world who could make her happier than I could. There's no man who'll ever love her. And he just screams, he doesn't exist. And then we cut to the Angels for like 45 seconds. They say a bunch of bullshit. Then
It's literally a bunch of bullshit. There is nothing. Oh man, the craziest part about this whole episode to me, I think, or the part that like got me the biggest reaction was the violence.
Yes.
I didn't think there was going to be that much blood. There
also,
was
the blood looked like crap.
Oh my god,
It was
looked
very
terrible.
bright
So
red.
blotchy.
Yeah. Blotchy, bright red. And
When Setsuna was like rescuing his sister, those like giant like monster things that transformed out of those like thugs that he was fighting, started like one of them like took his arm and started like ripping it apart and just twisted it clean off. Like,
and they showed
view.
us everything. They showed the tendons and everything getting ripped. It wasn't.
Oh.
It didn't look good, but they showed it.
It was.
So that was a shock.
Whoa, yeah.
And for something that is shoujo in nature and meant for younger girls, I'm surprised at this level of violence.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just learned what that mean, but I agree with you.
I mean, it was bold. Whatever I just watched was it was bold. I will say that.
It was very I will give to its credit, it was very upfront about a lot of things, where I feel like they don't exactly have the time to flesh things out. It's a 3-episode OVA.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have the time to like dive into these things and be like, okay, let's build up the romance, let's build up this thing, let's talk about the Angels. They have to just throw all of this exposition out there, but there doesn't have to be that much exposition.
Yes.
I feel like they could have dialed down the exposition.
They could have shown more, not
dramatically. It could have just been as simple as like, oh, we're angels warring with devils, or we're angels warring with this other species.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like,
and they weren't clear who the other species was.
It's not clear who the enemy is and like who they're fighting.
Yeah.
Who's fighting them, and Setsuna doesn't really care about any of it.
No.
Which I thought was the most compelling part, that he just doesn't care. He's
No, he
just
doesn't give
like,
a shit.
I just love my sister. And so he's like, I feel like there was one line where he was like, I don't care about any of that. And I was like, wow, cool. And he was like, I only care about loving my sister. And I was like, oh.
Okay, less cool.
It's like, not as cool.
Maybe less, little less cool,
God,
dude.
You almost got, okay.
Yeah, we were
almost there.
Almost a fan of yours, buddy, but you kind of fumbled at the 2.
Yeah.
Fumbled. But yeah, that's Angel Sanctuary episode 1.
Jeez.
That was a bunch of stuff, wasn't it, Bouncy?
So much stuff. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you the faithful question now.
Okay.
Was it bad?
Yeah. It just wasn't good. Hence why we paused to talk about it. Because we looked at each other with the subtle, we didn't say this, folks, but I think the subtle implications, like, we're not going to get through 3 episodes of this. Let's just cut it right now. Let's talk about this, because there's a lot going on. I'm sorry. I'm sure the manga might be good. I mean, I will give credit. Some of the character designs were beautiful. Some of them looked good when they weren't moving. So a lot of the still images, especially of Alexiel, she looked like gorgeous.
Yeah.
She was, like I said, long flowing hair, busty. I mean, she just looked like a.
The art was good.
Yes, like the character designs.
Art was
the character
good. Yes.
designs were good, but they didn't move well.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah looked good. I mean, Setsuna's a typical. Instead of having black hair, he was a blonde-haired protagonist, which I think cool.
Yeah,
different, fun. But yeah, no, I mean, this just wasn't good in any stretch of the word, in my mind.
Yes. I'm gonna have to say that it was definitely bad.
This is the first time you said a show was bad.
This is the first time I've ever said it.
We finally did it.
It didn't take long. Did not take long.
It took way longer than I thought it would.
But this was just really bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know, it wouldn't have been as bad. I think I can look past a few things.
Yes.
For one, if the storytelling was compelling enough, which I think it could be eventually, maybe in the manga or something. The incest, I mean, sure, I'm like, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Fine.
I've seen so much of that type of anime, and if it's done well,
right,
it can be kind of moving. It's it's supposed to be a forbidden love tale.
Right. It's
very common, especially in this time. I've rambled about on to death, so the incest didn't bother me. It just felt so rushed.
It felt really rushed. It didn't necessarily, agreed. It didn't necessarily bother me. Everything was just happening at 150 miles an hour, and it needed to happen at 20.
Exactly.
Because my biggest hang up about this whole episode was that maybe it was about half an hour. I guarantee you about 15 minutes of this episode are just random monologues.
And that's the
of
thing,
just like things that I have no idea what are. And things that I am sure in the next 2 episodes will not be explained fully.
It was only a half hour, but it felt like an hour and a half.
It felt so long. They just really prolonged everything. All the characters were like fine enough. It just didn't like, man, this was just so bad.
Yes.
So bad.
And fitting enough, because I think I left the air conditioner on. I think a sink's running right now, so this audio is not going to be as good, but it's for Angel Sanctuary. I don't care. I just realized halfway through, folks, I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it's just not very good. Yeah. I think it didn't. Why I'm able to say that this is the first anime I've watched that's actually bad.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's very bad because I just don't care about any of the characters.
Yes.
I don't care about any of the plot. I have no emotional investment towards it. And it just generally did a very bad job of plot. I can overlook a lot of like animation. I can overlook some plot points as long as the narrative is good. And this narrative was such trash.
Exactly.
It was so bullshit.
Bad.
It was so bad.
And these OVAs, they have one of two functions. They're supposed to be a reward for people who read the manga and also an advertisement. Go read the manga. This did not function as either because an OVA should still function even if you haven't read the source material. You should still understand what's going on. I'm assuming if you haven't read the manga, you're fucked because we are. But the thing is, if this was meant for people who read the manga, there wouldn't be this much exposition.
Yes.
This is definitely more of an ad for the manga.
Yes.
Didn't work.
No, did not work. They tried to put too much in too little time.
Yeah.
And maybe it just wasn't meant to be a series.
Exactly. No, it was. I think it must. Like I said, the character designs are beautiful, so that's probably where it should have stayed. It should have stayed on paper.
If the manga's good, the manga's good. I'm cool with that. But like this was not.
This was bad.
Not at all.
I'm so happy to we finally found anime.
This is exciting.
You're becoming a true weeb.
I hated it.
Oh, wow. I love the joy in your voice, Bouncy. This is great. So now you have something to finally put on your mal, and you can put it under your drop section.
That's fantastic.
And you could
really
give it
excited.
like a 3 or a 4.
Wow. That's going to be a great rating.
Well, so I mean, here we go, folks. We found a show that's bad. No questions asked. I think we have to go celebrate.
Yeah, let's go drink.
Let's go drink.
It's bad.
Wow, oh my god, what a rousing podcast of anime conversation. Am I right, my compares? Am I right, my weebdom? Anywho, yeah, you can send us a message if you want. Did you like this podcast? Did you hate this podcast? Do you want to kill me? Do you want to drench me in Calaxosaur blood and watch me drink it? That's fine. Just send us an email at badanimepod@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram at badanimepod, all one word. You can also find us on YouTube as Bad Anime, and you can leave a comment on whatever video you want to leave a comment on. We'll read them all anyways. We don't care. I love you. Kiss, kiss.
In your ear. Podcast Network.